Imagine a gig economy where everybody got a minimum pay from DoorDash of $18, $19, $20. And then if a customer tips you, that was just extra money. What would that do? Welcome back to Mr. Bet on You. For those of you who have been following this channel, we use the gig apps as a stepping stone to something better, whatever that means to you. We bet on ourselves, set goals, we do it one day at a time. And the gig economy could be good for full-time, part-time, whatever. Now, for those of you that have been watching over the last week, I went to California, I did one dash, Prop 22 money over there. I'm not an expert on Prop 22, but I did learn a little bit. And then today, I got the extra $9 and change because of the time that I was active on that order. They take away the customer tip, which is $3 and some change, and they gave me that $9 to get me to my minimum. Now, when talking with some dashers out in Cali and other people around the community and getting their opinion on it, a lot of drivers like it, some drivers don't. Some drivers think it oversaturates the market. Some drivers say, well, it just makes me take everything, and I don't worry about it because I know I'm getting a minimum money. So I have a couple questions for you guys today. What do you think about Prop 22? If you have it, let me know in the comments down below. And one question I want to ask is, do you guys think, because of the extra money they have to pay in Prop 22 to those California drivers, rideshare drivers, DoorDash, the gig economy, people that work in that state, do you think that that affects the pay for somebody like me in St. Louis, Missouri, somebody in Chicago, somebody in a state that doesn't have it? Do you think that that makes them have to pay us less base pay, as we've seen, and less peak pay, less promotions, things like that? And with other states trying to pass legislation, lawmakers trying to get us more money, more benefits, which could be good in some situations, it forces the hand of these gig economy companies to do that. And when hands are forced, usually bad things can happen. And if this came to every state, if it came to a majority of states, let's just say it came to 30 of the states, what would that do for saturation levels? If you're somebody that's making good money, do you think that that would bring more money, more people to the apps in your city, in your state, and then that would actually oversaturate it and make you make less money? Or do you think, hey, well, I'll just make more money, maybe I'll get some kind of benefits and nothing will change for me, I'll just be making more and that's a good thing? I find it interesting that, there's so many different varying opinions I see in comments and videos that are made and drivers that I meet. And a lot of people like it, some people don't. Some people make assumptions about things but have never worked it. But one of the most striking things to me is we are independent, right? We like to call ourselves 1099. That's what we do for taxes. We're subcontractors. We are not employees. We have freedom and flexibility. But if Prop 22 came to your state, would you really have that? Would you feel like more of an employee? Would that make you kind of take everything and just not worry about the timing of things because you're getting guaranteed money? And if that's the case, are you really a 1099 or are you something else? I would be lying to you if I didn't say I was happy getting the extra $9. Now, I did it as whatever. I was going to kind of take whatever as long as it was close just for the experience. But I think in my mind, there are a lot of drivers in California that work these apps very differently than you and I that aren't in that state. And the reason for that is they're getting the Prop 22 money. They're getting guarantee. They don't have to worry about hustling as much or being as fast because the wait times are different. They're getting paid for it. Good for them, no shade. But I think if something like this would come to St. Louis, come to Missouri, I think it would really change the market. Would it change how I did the gig apps? Overall, it wouldn't, because I'm still going to pick good orders that make profitability for me, and I'm still going to move as quickly as I can to get to the next one. But I think in states like California and other places, they want you to be an employee, man. They want you to think like that. They want you to move like that. They want you to just be like, hey, I'm good. Don't need to hustle as much. I'm getting guaranteed money. But others might say, well, Pedro, they're fighting back to these companies. They're saying, hey, you guys are mistreating these people. They're misclassified employees. You need to pay them more because you can pay them more. So my question to you is, where do you stand with this? What do you think about Prop 22? What do you think about local legislation? Do you want government in your gig economy? And for all the drivers that have it out in California, what do you think about it? I heard that it's going to be up for a vote again. Do you want it to stay? Do you not want it to stay? To all my drivers in other states, would you want this in your city, in your state? My opinion is if this came to a majority of places, I think it would be a bad thing. I think it would force DoorDash to do other things that would be bad for dashers. I think it would oversaturate the market. I think if anything, this is a Band-Aid put on a bigger issue. And when you put Band-Aids on things, they don't heal anything, especially if it's a bad thing, a bad wound. You can't just put Band-Aids on things. You got to fix the root cause of the issue. And really, another thing to show me is there's so many different ways to work the gig economy, to do food delivery. And at the end of the day, we shouldn't be like bashing people, calling them this, calling them that, because they work the apps a different way. My thing is, as long as these drivers out here, these fellow drivers, as long as you're making profits and you're making money, do you. Don't allow anybody else to tell you how you should work the app. But these apps will continue to change when we have legislation trying to be put in place, when we have saturation levels changing, when we have consumer power and how they're spending their money is changing, when we have tipping kind of getting out of control and crazy, forcing consumers to feel like, you know what, I'm not tipping everything for everybody, I'm just not doing it, and then we see less pay for us. Everything is evolving and changing. You got to be able to adapt in the gig economy. But this Prop 22 thing it's intriguing to think about it if it was everywhere and what that would do and how it would impact the gig economy and fellow drivers. For me, I want to be left alone. I know DoorDash is going to change things with algorithms and programs, but for me, less is more. We don't need this overcomplication of trying to figure out all these things when all we're doing is delivering McDonald's and Papa John's and picking up some Pampers for a mom or picking up this this is very easy work. But I think sometimes drivers, the apps, and government make it way more harder than it needs to be. I just want to pick up from Papa John's or a Chinese place and not have to think about all these things. Why are we complicating it? And when I think about making these deliveries to people's homes that are just trying to get food, it's just so silly that it's become so complicated. It's such a simple thing has become, we have to debate, we have to think about this, what if this happens, what if that happens? It's rather silly, right? And I want all the drivers that have been driving for 5 years or more, let me know in the comments down below, and I want you to give us some thoughts about how different it was 5 years ago. And I want us to imagine all my new drivers, it's gonna be different 5 years from now, right? And if 5 years from now you're a 5-year driver currently, it's gonna be 10 years. Think about all the changes, all the things that we've had to adapt to. The gig economy is not going anywhere. More ways to make money, more W-2 kind of jobs are gonna become gig app jobs, and it's gonna be a lot of opportunity out here for us. But the food delivery game will be ever shifting, ever changing. I think legislation will be coming to some states, and we just have to be ready to adapt to it, because when they come, you're not gonna be able to work the apps the same way, right? And for me, I wouldn't want Prop 22 in Missouri. It might be a short-term benefit, but I think overall, it might make me less money. If there's more dashers in my market, if there's more fishermen in that pond than there used to be, but the same amount of fish, I'm probably not gonna eat as well. Let me know what y'all think in the comments down below. Appreciate you taking this little walk with me today. It was a fantastic weather in my St. Louis market. I did not work today, but I saw that Prop 22 money hit. I just wanted to get y'all's opinion in the comments down below. Let me give you guys a little sneak peek into tomorrow's content. Tomorrow, we're gonna talk about Instacart and how I think in 2023, or the first part of 2024, they're done, and why. If you like this video or others, check out this one here. Consider hitting subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments.